You're listening to Three Kitchens podcast, hosted by Aaron Walker and Heather Dyer.
We're on a mission to inspire other home cooks just like us to be brave and try something new. Let's learn to cook better and eat great food.
It's so funny because we were just in the gym this morning and complaining about how our pants don't fit, and now
They don't fit and they ain't getting there anytime soon, honey.
Nope. Just buy the big old moo-moos and get comfy, as we're about to have dessert.
Okay.
Welcome once again to Three Kitchens podcast. Here we are. I'm Heather, and I'm here with my co-host Aaron.
Hello, good day.
And good day to you. And I'm still a little high on sugar from the Norwegian brown cheese caramel on pancakes. Whew. If you haven't heard that episode yet, check it out because it's so good, and I'm still on a sugar high from it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're about to eat more sugar. This is kind of a two-parter because I've made a component that will then go into the next recipe.
Yes.
We're talking about tiramisu, which is an Italian dessert. It's like lady fingers, which are like a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, you dip them in coffee, and then you're layering it with a creamy mascarpone mixture. And then it's usually got chocolate or cocoa to finish it. I'm pretty sure I've eaten this at some point in my life, but it would have been pre-dairy sensitivity time, so a long time ago.
I don't know if I ever have had tiramisu. Like I've probably had it at some point, but it has never left any lasting impression on me, nor has it been something I've ever
sought out or
it's never been one of those things.
Well, when I was in Italy with my family on vacation, we visited a small family farm near Sorrento, so it's quite close to the coast. And that is the part of Italy where they grow lemons and olives. And if you're looking on the map, I saw you turn around and look at the map on your wall. Picture the Italian boot.
Ah, yes.
And it's like at the front of the ankle, basically.
Ah, yes.
Kind of in that little dip there.
Yes, I can see Naples, so I'm assuming Sorrento
just south of there,
nearby. Okay.
Yeah. So we visited this farm. We did a tour where they showed us where they grow the olives, how they harvest them, and then the lemon grove, and talked a lot about what they do with them and how they grow them. It was lovely. And then we had dinner there. So being a family farm, it was one of the sons who toured us around, and then his mama made us dinner. She didn't really come out to talk to us. She came and smiled and waved, but I don't think she spoke English because she didn't speak to us. He did all the talking. But for dessert, Mama had made a lemon tiramisu. So there's no coffee in this one. It's a lemon, the same dessert, but instead of soaking in coffee, you would use a lemon syrup, or in this case, it was limoncello, which is the local lemon liqueur that is very popular there. And Raphael, the farmer, told us how they make the limoncello, which is like super intense lemon liqueur, very sweet. So you typically have it after a meal in like an ounce, like a little sip, maybe before dessert or with dessert, or not, maybe you don't have dessert at all and it is your dessert. Anyway, we had a number of different restaurants where we went. We'd have a little limoncello at the end of our meal. And in this case, it was homemade there. And so he told us how to make it. And I was determined. I'm like, when I go home, I am making limoncello, because we got in quite a habit of having that little hit of lemon liqueur after a meal.
Well, it helps with your digestion. I'm sure there's like top 10 health reasons why you should have a little bit every day.
Well, maybe I'll have to look that up because I have no idea if that's true.
Just lie to yourself.
If it's something I enjoy, I will enjoy it. Anyway, so I came home and I'm like, okay, I want to make limoncello because it's so simple. It is lemon peel. It's
Okay.
the zest, so you want to get just the yellow part without
Okay.
the white. The white part underneath, it's more bitter. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to try to avoid that part of it. You're going to peel off the outside of the lemon and you're going to soak it in alcohol for, I don't honestly remember how long he told me they soak theirs, but their lemons are also otherworldly. Like the lemons we
Yeah,
get here are not those lemons from
because
Italy.
you're not picking them off of your lemon tree in your backyard.
Oh my, like you could just smell them as you get anywhere close to that farm. Like they're so much more intense and flavorful and it's so
Let's all
amazing.
just take a moment to imagine that. Ah.
But I think what we get imported here is
Mm,
just not the same. So anyway, I think he soaked his lemon peels in alcohol for a shorter period of time, but I
mm.
decided I was going to aim for a month, and I think it was 3 weeks. I think I'm a week early. I forget what they call it there, but it is essentially what we have here is called Everclear. It's pure
Oh,
alcohol. It's
okay.
like you buy it at the liquor store, like something you can drink,
Mm,
but you
mhm.
wouldn't ever just drink that.
It's more for crafting
I think so.
different things with.
It has no flavor. It's
Mm.
just purely alcohol. And some people also like to use vodka because vodka is also fairly flavorless.
Yeah.
Right. The Everclear is just going to be more.
Is it the same percentage of alcohol? No.
No, I think it's higher. And I didn't make note of it, but I could look it
Oh,
up and tell you later.
okay.
I think it's a higher alcohol percentage.
Okay.
I just put it into a jar and left it in there, and every so often I give it a little shake, and it was just in my pantry for like 3 weeks.
Hmm.
And just this morning I dumped it out and strained it, and the lemon peels were not quite colorless, but most of the color was out of them.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And the alcohol is very yellow. You saw it on my counter. It looks like a jar of something else that you wouldn't want to drink. My husband was like, is that pee in that? I used a full 750 ml bottle
Nice.
of the Everclear. And the idea is then once it's done and you've strained it, then you make a simple syrup, which is just equal parts sugar and water.
Oh, okay.
You make a simple syrup and you use equal amount simple syrup to the amount of alcohol and you mix them together, and that is it. So simple. So I mixed up my simple syrup this morning and I'm letting it cool. It's just sitting on my stove and it's cooling, and then I'm going to mix them, and then I'm done with the limoncello. And I'm so excited to try it because you can mix it into other drinks. It's
Mm,
popular in Italy to have a limoncello spritz, which I think is just with prosecco.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
But I am going to also use it in my lemon tiramisu.
Oh, and how happy are you guys going to be to have your little post-dinner
I know.
sipper now tonight? Ooh,
Our little, I wish I had like these little glasses.
just for it.
Yeah, something fancy.
Mm.
Anyway, that's what I'm gonna try. And I got a recipe for the lemon
Oh,
tiramisu from one of my friends at dinner club who is Italian.
mhm.
And I had sent a picture of what we ate at the farm, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make that." Like she felt inspired. And so she said her recipe was like the best. Yeah,
She parted with it and
she shared
passed
it
it
with
on to
me.
you.
Mhm.
Ooh, lucky.
Lucky us. So lucky all you listeners too, because you're gonna get it. Sorry, Lucia. I hope you don't mind. I'm sharing it with the world. Everyone in the
Now
world.
everybody knows.
Secrets out, because the whole world
Uh-oh.
listens to Three Kitchens podcast.
Well, if they don't, they're missing out. So
Well, that is the truth.
it really is.
The one thing I'm wondering about is the lady fingers.
Mm.
Where do I shop for lady fingers? Or is it something simple I could make? You've seen them probably.
I for sure see them. They do have them at your regular grocery store, sort of by, I've seen them with like graham crackers.
Mm. The Italian market, maybe,
The
be a good
Italian market
place.
for sure would have some. Do you think maybe they make some there?
Oh, I wonder how easy it is to make them. Not that I need more work, but if it's a simple like it's a simple plain cookie, right? So maybe it's not difficult. It says here, these adorable, crispy, oh geez, pop-up ad. Yeah. Adorable, crispy bites of sponge cake.
Oh,
Hmm. Well, that's an
well,
interesting. It says for tiramisu or trifle. Oh yeah, you've seen them in trifles where you stand them up around the
oh
dish. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I didn't know that they were a sponge cake.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Well, I have learned.
Ladyfingers are crispier exterior and soft interior, but not as moist as the sponge cake. Huh. Well, okay, this makes no sense. The ladyfingers have a lighter, spongier texture than a sponge cake. The heck?
Sponge cake biscuits, roughly shaped like large fingers,
Yeah.
is what I'm getting from the world of Wikipedia.
Sponge cake biscuits. I just feel like that's a bunch of words that don't really make sense together.
It
Is it a
sounds like they
cake?
hired us to describe it.
Is it a cake or is it a cookie? Okay, we've said many times on this podcast how when you read a recipe and you're like, okay, based on this description, I don't know what I'm looking for when I make it.
WTF am I going to end up with?
And how do I know it's right if I can't
Yeah.
figure out the description? As much as I think, oh, maybe it's just quick and I could just pipe some out.
Okay. The secret to success is going to the Italian market and buying them off the shelf.
That's the secret.
I think we just solved this. There you go.
And if anyone listening knows how to make ladyfingers and you have some tips and you can clear up a little bit of the mystery around it for us, feel free to join us on Instagram or Facebook and leave us a message and tell us all about baking ladyfingers. I'd love to know.
I feel like you've taken on enough by making the limoncello and then making this tiramisu. I feel like asking you to then like make and explore all the intricacies around ladyfingers is just too much. Well, ain't nobody got time to make ladyfingers. That's why you can buy them at your market.
No, but that's why I thought, like, if it, like you said, if it were just a simple, like a shortbread cookie or something,
Yeah.
easy peasy, then maybe. But okay, well, that sugar really has done a number. Okay, off I go.
All right.
Hey, beach lover. Is the beach calling out to you right now? Do you love listening to the soothing sound of ocean waves and breathing in the salty air? Do you love the feeling of sand between your toes and the warm tropical breeze on your skin? If so, grab a cool drink, relax in your beach chair, and tune in to The Beach Speaks, the podcast that shares stories about the beach and our connection to it. Join me, Paige Friend, your host and fellow beach lover, in listening to engaging conversations with guests including authors and artists, entrepreneurs and travel experts, all with a deep connection to the beach. You'll also hear some personal stories of my own beach adventures that will inspire you to reconnect with the beach, return to your soul, and reimagine your life. New episodes are released bi-weekly wherever you enjoy your podcasts. The beach is speaking. Are you listening?
Okay.
Shall we jump into the land of whatever the hell magic you have created?
Ooh, that's starting off on a good note.
Oh my God.
Lemon tiramisu.
Before we jump into your tiramisu, though, you've already explained your limoncello and you gave me some
Oh, do you want to talk about
limoncello.
that first? Yeah.
Should we just, holy moly, Heather? I don't know if what you had in Italy was like this, but like the lasting sensation and flavor in your mouth. I had my teaspoon in the morning before I had the tiramisu.
Oh, yes.
I was like,
Aaron's teaspoon of alcohol.
my teaspoon of booze. I had it before I had the tiramisu, and I was like, oh wow, because I just wanted to get like the full experience. So I was drinking at 9 a.m. And so that was really good. But then I had a little bit in a glass last night after dinner. Oh my God. I see why you got into this. It's fantastic, Heather.
Right?
Absolute. The way it just like after dinner, all night I wanted to text you. It just sat in there and was like, lemony and yummy
it's so
and
delicious.
tingly and ooh.
And I had a thought for those people like you who don't typically consume alcohol. I bet you could replace in this recipe with oleo saccharum, which I made.
Okay.
It's a lemon syrup
Yep.
that's made with lemon peels, similar to this, except this is an alcohol, like a liqueur, whereas that's just a syrup. But like if you can't do the alcohol, let's say you can't.
Yeah.
Not just that it's not your preference, but let's say you can't have alcohol. I think you could probably make a pretty good tiramisu with oleo saccharum.
I think you absolutely could. I have to say, like, I could take those little sips after every meal.
Oh, I know, it's so good, isn't it?
It's quite delightful.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a large jug of it because I used that whole 750 ml bottle of Everclear.
Yes.
And then you make the same amount of syrup to mix with it.
So you have like 1.5 liters.
Yes. I have these really nice glass bottles with a top that seal really nicely with they have like a little
Jug handle.
Yeah, like they look like a moonshine jug. I was like carrying it over my shoulder the other day, like walking around like I've got my moonshine.
And what, like just taking a swig off?
Yeah, take a swig out of it. It's too heavy. Oh my God.
Well, that's why you carry it over the shoulder. You have to prop it up with your elbow to.
I am not that good at that. But anyway, I was pretending the other day because my husband was like, "Oh my God, is that how much you made?" Like, yes, it is. It says on the glass bottle is stamped, it says half gallon. So for those people who don't know what a 1.5 liters is,
oh my gosh,
gallon, it's a lot. It's in my fridge because you want it cold. It's like better when it's like super
you want it
cold.
Nice and crispy.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to be sipping on that forever.
He's not going to be sad that you made 1.5 liters or half a
He's
gallon of this. Are you kidding
drinking
me?
it. Yep.
It is so good.
Oh,
so
it's
very
delicious.
good.
Go and make some limoncello. That's the end of the story. It's so delicious.
The fact that you can make it so easily, like it's a simple process.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now once you've got it, you can make a lemon tiramisu. This is actually quite simple too. It just has a few steps you've got to do. It basically is just layers of ladyfinger cookies and this cream.
Okay, yeah.
So first you start with 4 egg yolks, and this is a weird measurement of sugar. Before I post it, I'm going to weigh it. It'll make more sense if I just weigh it for you folks. But 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Okay.
Don't you hate when they write it like
often they have the weight in brackets, but if they don't, it's always like, I get it.
It's like so weird.
It's like trying to convert the weight back into cup measurements. Like just stick with the weight, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, I will post the weight because 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar with your 4 egg yolks in a put that in a like a metal bowl over a pot of simmering water, which is a bain-marie, double boiler idea.
I didn't know it was called a bain-marie, so that's a new word for me.
There you go. A new French, I assume, French way of saying it.
Okay.
And the point of that, of course, is to warm it up, dissolve the sugar without cooking those egg yolks.
Right.
We're going to use the double boiler idea. Whisk it until that sugar is dissolved, it's all blended, and then check it with your candy thermometer, or I use my meat thermometer actually because it works the same way. 154 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Get close. Then take it from the bowl, put it into so out of that warm bowl, put it into a cold bowl, let it cool.
Okay.
Step 1 is done. Now I have my papers. I had to write it because it was a video that I was getting the recipe from, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt. I had to keep pausing it and writing stuff down. Okay.
I've never cooked off of a YouTube video.
It's not the best. Like if you're going to post a video like that, put the recipe in words underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here with you.
Then you're going to add in your 400 grams of mascarpone cheese.
What is mascarpone cheese, Heather?
It's essentially an Italian cream cheese.
Oh, okay.
It's quite sticky. It's a soft cheese and it's quite sticky. And doing a little bit of reading about it, I discovered that you can make it. It is cream, and you warm it to, I didn't write it down, so I don't know exactly, but there's a certain temperature you warm it up to, gently warm it up.
Okay.
Then you stir in lemon juice, and then you refrigerate it, and like the next day, it has thickened and kind of done its thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And you end up with mascarpone cheese.
Okay. Excellent.
It's very sticky. It's like thick and sticky when you scoop it out of the container. So you're going to beat that in, then add a teaspoon of vanilla and the zest from 2 lemons, and 3 to 4 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Okay.
Beat that again until it's smooth. Then set that aside, and you're going to make some whipped cream. 300 milliliters of cold heavy cream. Beat until you've got stiff peaks.
Okay.
Fold a third of that mixture into your cheese. And then once that's sort of fold in the remaining. So you're just going to start with a little bit and then fold the rest of it in. You're trying not to totally deflate everything that you've just whipped up.
Right, right.
Now you're going to prepare your dessert. So you've got your cream mixture. Now in a small bowl, you're going to put a 1/4 cup of your limoncello,
Okay.
2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a cup of water. Mix that up. You're going to dip your ladyfinger cookies.
Oh, yes.
Cookies / sponge cake. Remember we had this whole
Hard
discussion about
sponge
what
cake?
the heck is a crispy, soft sponge cake cookie? Yeah, whatever. That okay.
Ladyfingers. We're going to go with that.
I went to the Italian store. Apparently these are Italian style. I looked at the package. It said made in Canada, which is totally fine. Doesn't mean they're not like Italian recipe, whatever. But you dip each cookie into that limoncello juice water mixture and then place it in the bottom of your 9x13 pan. I used a glass pan. Then spread half your cheese on top, your cheese mixture. Then do the cookies again, another layer, and then the rest of the cheese.
Okay.
And then cover it with plastic or seal it up, put it in the fridge for 6 hours or overnight. I just put it in for the day. I had done it around noon.
Okay.
And then brought it out at dinner time, so it was about 6 hours. And then before you serve it, zest some lemon zest on top. I also had a little bit of dried lavender in my spice cupboard, so I sprinkled some of that on
That
there.
looked so nice. The purple and the yellow. Like,
I know, it does look nice.
so
And
complimentary.
I really think those flavors are also good together. I don't think that you tasted a lot of it, but I do like the flavor.
I made sure to get like a little scraping of lavender together to eat with a bite so that it was lavendery and it was very good. Yeah,
I think it could have had more.
totally.
And I even think you could put it in between the layers. If you're a fan of it, I think that'd be good.
Why does lavender taste so good?
I don't know. It's so weird because it smells perfumey, but it tastes
It's like
good.
soap in your mouth, but it's
So
good.
weird.
I don't know why.
It's true. That's it. It's chilled. So you've done the
Okay.
work up ahead on the stove, mixed your stuff together. It really doesn't take too long to put together, especially once you're not looking at a YouTube video and trying to make notes. And
Right.
and yeah.
And it's kind of nice that it's a no bake dessert, which I feel is preferable, especially in the summer or especially when it's warm. You want that something that you can put together sort of quickly. It reminds me of like some sort of jello or some sort of jellied salad layered thing. It seems
Or
very
like-
similar to that, right? But just
Did you
fancier.
have you ever had grasshopper pie? This just made me think of grasshopper pie. My
I've heard of
mom
this,
used
but
to,
I
it was
don't
like
think
her
so.
thing in the 80s. She used
Oh,
to make it when we were kids.
Yes.
And it's got a dark, like an Oreo cookie, like a chocolate cookie crust on the bottom. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and then I think it was made with ice cream and probably Cool Whip. You know, it was one of those type of
That's
fillings.
exactly what it reminds me of, is one of these pies. Yeah.
But you know what? It's green, and you know what makes it the grasshopper thing, I guess, is because it's green. It's made with creme de menthe.
Oh,
It's like it tastes like creme de menthe and dark chocolate cookies.
it's like an after 8 cake.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it wasn't. I remember quite liking it as a kid, although I think it's ice cream and cool. Like, I think it's pretty heavy, rich. But I remember actually quite
Not a
liking
bad
it.
thing.
It was like the go-to. It was looked cool. I don't know if there was any coloring in it. Is creme de menthe must be green. Maybe it's green colored liqueur. I don't actually know.
Couldn't tell you, but so the only complaint for my house was there wasn't enough. And you gave me a pretty healthy box of stuff.
It was almost half the pan. I think it was like half the pan.
So I have to admit that I ate like 2 of those big and I left the one big piece, and I was like, oh, I'll share this with the kids. And then when I went to serve it for everyone, I divided that piece into 4 slices.
Oh, nice.
So they even got like this little slice, and I still had more. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a piggy. I love this.
It's for work.
They looked at the box, they looked what was inside, and they gave me those questioning eyes like,
how much have you eaten, Mom?
Yeah, no, it was much loved here. Sometimes they're a little bit, it's too lemony. They thought this was perfect.
It's not overly lemony.
It is not overly lemony. He was like, it's bitter and lemony, but creamy at the same time, and all the flavors go together. And I was like, you're right at it. You're feeling this.
Yeah.
I don't know what these ladyfinger cookies, sponge cake things are, but they were kind of like a cake. By the time you cut into it, they softened up, and it was kind of like day-old cake that had been.
Yeah, that's what the cookie itself, when you take it out of the package, at least the store-bought kind, felt to me like kind of, it's like not totally dry on the outside, almost dry. It feels like day-old cake. Like it does feel like you've sliced it and kind of left it. And so I knew, and it's softish, so I knew it was going to soak that up and be quite soft. It is like cake. It's cake.
It is very much cake, which is
yeah, interesting.
Again, like bake all the cake and use the leftovers. Like, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I remember at some point in my life eating the kind of original tiramisu, which is coffee flavored. Although it's been so long, because I don't always trust the dairy content, that I haven't eaten it in a really long time, but now I really want to make it.
I often don't like coffee flavored desserts unless somebody else has ordered dessert for me, which I can't see ever happening. I don't think I've ever had before, because coffee flavored stuff, if it's not good, it's bad. But if it's good, it's great.
Yeah. And I wonder if you could make it like with kind of like concentrated espresso as opposed to like a coffee liqueur, because the coffee liqueur has that weird fake coffee taste.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Anyway, I do want to make it now, because I'm like, I'm kind of onto this, even though I think I've had enough for a little while.
At least a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to try making this mascarpone cheese too. That sounds like doable.
Oh, totally. I had no idea until after I'd bought it, and then I was looking, because I was trying to think about the lactose content.
Right, yes.
I didn't find lactose-free mascarpone, but I did have lactose-free whipped cream.
Right.
So I reduced the lactose, and I tested it with a little amount to see how I would feel, and I didn't have any reaction to it. So, however, why ever, my body did not mind the mascarpone. Yeah.
What great flavors.
Those Italians, they know what they're doing.
So good.
And now you know how easy it is to make. You can get that little bit of Italy right here.
I now dream in limoncello only.
I'm so glad you liked it. Everybody, go and make it. It really is easy. And if you don't have the limoncello, you can buy it. You don't have to make it, even though it's super easy and I swear by it, but you can also buy it. And now for the fine print. For links to recipes and many other random things we talked about in this episode, check out the show notes or our website, www.threekitchenspodcast.com. Join us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok to see what we're cooking up next. And if you love the show, tell a friend. Word of mouth is the number 1 way people learn about new podcasts. Thanks for listening.
But I don't know.
Da, 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 da,
You know.
da.